Ja? Du musst jetzt hören. Was ist ein Fehler aufgetreten? Ja, vergiss es nicht. Hello everybody, it's 8 p.m. I'm in time for once for this live stream where I will play through all my daily routines in real time. So I really haven't touched the cello until now. I just played an open string for my wife to say if the balance is good, but she got thrown off. So now if any of you could tell me if the balance is good, then I appreciated that a lot. So one little comment, if the cello is too loud or too soft, would be highly appreciated. So I'm not intending to practice any piece today. This is just to keep my general level of cello playing at a minimum. That's why I'm going to work for 1 hour now my infamous daily routines. I spent the day on the motorbike going on beautiful country roads with my son, and we spent nice lunch with some friends somewhere up in the mountains. And I came back 1 hour ago, set up my little new studio here. It used to be the guest room, and we transformed it into a studio so it's nice and dry. Oh, wonderful. Jill just said that it sounds good for you, so thank you very much for letting me know. I started this whole Patreon thing with doing daily routines, as my son had encouraged me to share them, as he got so fed up with having to listen to them. So I told him it's important, so then he said, then share it with other people, which I did. But I've never showed you how I actually do it. Volume is good, says Caroline. Thank you, Caroline. Great. So I'll jump right into it. So the first thing is always bow exercises. The Pergamenchikov banana bow. And a lot of these daily routines have to do with patience. So I focus on my breathing and of my arm weight and really lowering the bow onto the string with my shoulder without stopping the bow. Now I stopped it. Bad. So it should come from one movement. And I often then just change it to normal open strings. Normally I don't talk, but even if I talk now, I'm still doing the same as if the camera wasn't there. Normally I actually do read the paper at the same time. but I decided to explain just maybe a little bit why I do what I do. And this comes in handy for anything. I mean, any out of the air landing on the string, what we mostly do. Very rarely should we actually stop the bow and start, so it's always a flow and movement. Actually now I feel quite in control of the bow, so I go to the second daily routine. So now somebody just sent a message on Patreon. If you want to leave messages, leave them in the chat on YouTube, because that I can see real time. Thanks, Alexei. I just read your email. So if you want to ask questions in between, please feel free. I can read the chat messages you leave on YouTube. So now comes daily routine number 2, that's the Piatti number 1. Oh, you cannot see the bridge. Sorry, I move away. Abrupt movement in my wrist. So I don't ever do that. I never play it faster than what I do right now. General bow change. Number 3, the Sevchik. Important here is that it's in the middle of the bow. I forgot to mention anywhere that I will post this later on, so if you don't have the patience to look through all that now, you can re-watch it. Now Jung Won asks, don't you practice bow change on A and D string, Pure Pretty One? No. This is all I do. Anything I play today is what I do in the daily routines. Doesn't mean that you can do it differently. I think the D and G string is good because it's thicker and it speaks more difficulty. So the Piatti number 1, I only practice those 6 bars or whatever it is. So here the difficulty is out, in the string. So you mean it's banana bow a bit more difficult. You see, when I do the 2 up bows, my elbow is a little bit higher, so I don't have weight on the bow since I want to get out. But then here, this I play with the weight of the bow. You see, it's not perfect what I'm doing, but now I feel comfortable enough with my bow and my arm in my hand. So after 11 minutes I switch to daily routine number 4, which is Kosman, whatever, similar trill. And here just I apply the arm weight. As lazy as possible. Another question, does the banana bow exercise help you with relaxing and breathing? I have trouble thinking about my breathing while playing. To be honest, I didn't think of breathing right now. Good point, very good point. It definitely doesn't hurt to think of breathing. I don't, sorry. I'll incorporate it. Thank you. I don't feel completely relaxed here. The thumb should be not pressing down. So I try not to, I'm not really hitting hard, I'm more I try at the same time to feel the weight of the shoulder and of the arm to push down the strings. It doesn't have to be super fast. I mean, for me it has to be faster, but you shouldn't do it fast unless you don't feel completely relaxed. That's difficult. The thumb doesn't lock. too far away. Have you ever experienced tension in the lower back? Yes, I did. That will be okay. I promise now. I'm going to write next week a video. I write and then I film the video about how to sit. Because lower back was a big problem, now it's not anymore at all. Also because I focus on how I sit right now. Not good. Too much sitting on the motorbike, and I really... No, that doesn't sound great, but I felt very, very relaxed now. So that's exactly the point of being able to do something tricky here without tensing. So actually I could do that so you can see I'm not tightening any muscle here. And then 3 against 4. That's enough for now. I mean, the hand will get very tired. Here it didn't get tired at all. It will get tired when I'm done with my routines doing the swan. But now comes number 5, the Oistrach. You might not see it, but I'm thinking shoulder shifting. Bad. Don't get fast. How tense do you set up your gofrilla? I mean the distance between the string and the fingerboard. Oh, that's a question for later, sorry. The other way around. You should be in tune, Mr. Gerhardt. try to keep the hand as calm as possible. If I vibrate, sorry, that's a reflex. I don't do that on purpose. No, it's not fun, Maria, Luis. But try it. It's actually really helpful. I mean, if one puts really the mind to it. Third finger. Focus. Patricia is asking to the shoulder shift in detail. Well, there's an extra video about shifting. And there's a video about this exercise. Now I'm hitting the ball. Now, I see myself frozen. Is it frozen with you as well? Let's see if there's a problem with the camera. No. So sorry. Let me just double check that well, now the microphone, what's the microphone? You can still hear? Okay. Sorry. Actually, the most difficult, I think, good, sound is back, thanks Ismail. The most difficult was on one finger, on the first finger, sorry. Now, fifth finger. I have no idea why the fourth finger is actually going better than the first finger. That doesn't make any sense. But, okay. Let's see other. Okay. Okay. So fourth finger is good. Now thumb. And I would call these shifts decisive but not aggressive. So it's not, I'm not doing anything, so I'm trying to be as round as possible. That's a wonderful way to get a better thumb. I mean, I haven't done this exercise until last year, I think, or 2 years ago I started doing it, and it is so helpful. Now, whatever comes now, 6 für Jahr. I mean, I know für Jahr is coming, I don't know which number. Some people play this exercise far too fast. This is not about speed. But intonation. How did I come up with this warm-up schedule? It's not warm-up. Over 40 years. There are little videos for each of those daily routines. You have to look for the hashtag daily routine, and I explain where every single of those exercises comes from. I started with when I was 12 years old, I think. That's bad. Anybody wants to sign off and come back, I'll be done in about 35 minutes. Then you can ask all kinds of questions. I'm happy to do a half hour of, hi Herman, bowings don't matter. I tried to change the bows. not together with a shift. Maria-Luisa asks about the transition from to thumb position. Don't think of it as a transition. I love that exercise. It's so difficult but so rewarding. That's not perfect, but probably me talking, I'm losing a little bit concentration, so I should focus again. Was asking about the bowing. Where I change doesn't matter so much, but you see where I play. So I play with what I call the honest sound. So with good sound, I mean, it doesn't have to be, we're not talking about beauty, but nothing like this. Now comes the two hardest ones. You see, I'm doing that since 30 years and it's not really perfect. I feel like Sisyphus. I push it up and it always rolls back down the mountain, the stone. And I don't have to explain why this is a good exercise. I mean, so many crucial and wonderful shifts. And now this one. Last one. Min last of the verjaar. That's enough for verjaar. Now number 7, which are scales. loud. I mean, let's see if I can adjust that a little. I just saw it go over the top. Jung is asking how I can stay relaxed without making the sound all muddy. Well, I relax, but I push down the string by my left hand, by my arm. Why is that out of focus now? Huh? What's wrong with this camera? And here, shout out to my patron Donald Pistolesi, who gave me this fingering. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Just check it out, it's so much better. That was not very good. Now on one bow. Could be better, but I'm running out of time and I'm thirsty. So I do my scales, the arpeggios now. Oh, one more scale. Do I do it that I don't push too hard and get tired? That's in the Kosman. What's wrong with this? Sorry. So the Kosman is there to teach my hand to relax while playing. That's really silly. Arpeggios. Now on one bow. while doing that, I was trying to focus also on my bow, because that I don't do the string changes here, but just keep doing that. So now Alban has to have the fourths to do. I wanted to try to get that down more. Let's see, how can I do this? Here? Maybe. Sorry. Now comes number 8, the Francisco Araiza, which used to be the last one. comes the least favorite, the swan. Patricia asks if I push the string down in the high position. Yes, I do. Not to the side. If you push it to the side, I think that means your fingernail is a bit too long. Don't worry if you don't manage to play the whole thing. This is really tiring. I know it's not quite in tune, but this is not about perfect intonation. I try to, but I would never play such bad fingerings anyway. This is a training for the left hand for vibrato only. Now do the third finger. Which doesn't want to vibrate fast. This hurts. Fourth finger. Just read this right, Donald. Noah is there. Hello, Noah. Good to see you. See me suffering through this war. As I said in my last daily routine video number 9, the video which I just posted, I only started doing that since 2 months now. Now it's going to be painful. So when I started this routine again 2 months ago, I couldn't get through the whole thing. The fingers were not up to it. But now they are, and now actually it feels also better in pieces. So second finger, 5 more minutes and I'm done, and then you can ask any questions. Hi Jason, for the last small. I know it's not that long, this note, but I like it. And it serves the exercise. quiet. Try not to get wobbly with the vibrato. Not this. Or something here, or adagio on this one. And now comes the violin exercise of my wife, which I'm doing afterwards. That will be 2 minutes, and then we're done. And Q&As, if you like. Thanks, Caroline. Yeah, thank you. That's it. Oi, oi, oi. So this is 65 minutes of daily routines with me. So feel free to ask any questions now regarding those routines or anything else. I think I didn't answer the question of which one was it? Of Jung 1, how tense I set up the cello. The distance between strings and fingerboard. Well, I don't set anything up. Actually, I leave it like that, year in, year out. I'm very happy with my bridge, so I don't change winter, summer. I keep it the same. So in summer, sometimes it's a bit higher. In winter, it's a bit lower, but not much. And it's not very low, but not very high. So it's I don't know what the exact distance is. Oh no, poor Jason's partner. Tell her my apologies that she had to listen through this. But you could have put it on headphones. It's all because you blaring it out on your speakers on the laptop. Yes, these exercises are not the prettiest ones, neither are they the impressivest ones, But somehow over the years I have learned that actually to impress, it's a waste of time. just try to be yourself. They teach you when you were a kid to never look at the fingerboard. Oh, Patrice asking that. No, actually, No, nobody told me not to look at the fingerboard. And for the longest time I did, but what is there to see? There's actually not much to see. And sometimes it's easier if you don't see, because if you look, even though I must say, when I looked at the Saint-Saëns video, I always had a little double check for the octaves, because I didn't want to completely miss them. So obviously there's something to see. But, well, I got very influenced by watching a wonderful singer and a wonderful cellist, Heinrich Schiff, within 1 week. And they had like this open thing. The singer sang to the audience, Schiff was playing, and he was being in touch with the audience. And us looking down to our bridge or the fingerboard is kind of locking the audience out of our world, and instead of drawing them in. So for the longest time I played with my eyes closed. Also now I try to keep them open, even though I can concentrate much better with the eyes closed. But that also locks the people out. So sometimes I still close them, but sometimes I try to keep them open, and I don't know. It's all a challenge actually for me, because I like to, I like to be for myself. That's why I have the earplugs very deep, so if you would talk to me now, I wouldn't understand a word. Jason asks, tips for building up speed, stamina on the fourth finger, or what do you mean? Oh God, do I have to add bro? Why does it say, I can do that. So now you can see the question, yes? Interesting. So it gives me the option to put these things in, but how do I get off that now? Oof, sorry. A stamina on the fourth finger. Yeah, swarm. That's the only stamina exercise I've ever done for the fourth finger, and it's worth it. Maria Luis Rebelo asking that her bow grip switches. Well, watch my bow video. I had the slipping bow grip for quite some years in my early 20s, or late teens, early twins. So there's a video on bow-related exercises to feel that even if you're super sweaty, you cannot lose your bow. And I don't remember the video, but I think it was not bad. I'm giving a lot of exercises I don't do anymore because I don't need them anymore. But I recommend that video there, because I would go too far now to explain all those things. But there are some very valuable exercises like this, and like this, and like this, and just open strings, just finding your personal grip. Nobody can tell you how to do it. I mean, everybody has different fingers. One of my patrons, I think was Alexei, pointed out that my third finger is somehow strange. So I don't do that on purpose, and it's not worth imitating. Caroline is asking, how often do I put rosin on the bow? Once a month, maybe, not too often. I often forget. So building up speed, stamina on X4. So now, oh, you wanted number 4. Which one is number 4? That's, oh, this one. Well, that's the one, yeah. Maybe rhythms as well. Just stay relaxed. It's not really, I mean, I showed now what I do, but I'm doing that since 40 years, so don't expect from yourself to do exactly the same thing. So it could be just very slow. So it's this hanging thing, and even could be as slow as it gets. There's no rush whatsoever. You don't have to, you're not in a hurry. Oh God, now I jumped some things, no? Oh, okay, it was you who's playing. She didn't like Jason? Nah, tell her she has a bad taste. She should like you playing. Then, wait a second. Which of these would you say were perhaps the more achievable and the best starting point for a not very advanced at all player? Asks Alfie. Which of the exercises? Well, definitely the bow, especially the banana bow, and definitely the Kosman. Don't go super fast. And the Feuillard, the number 6. Half of it. So not 2 octaves, 1 octave. This is for a not advanced player excellent. And each position, I would definitely recommend that for any beginning player. Also the question from, was it, oh God, I'm so forgetful, was it Maria Louise, who wanted the change from fingerboard to the change into thumb position, and that happens by they're quite natural, so you just go and it's not something like thumb position, but you just go higher, and at some point the thumb just comes along, so kind of sneaks in. Maybe I have to keep going with the exercises. Oh no, sorry Maria. Yeah, I mean, I did it for 1-2 years. I knew my bow wasn't good, so I did for 5 minutes every morning. I did my walk around the practice floor in Cincinnati, and I did my little dry exercises. So that's something one can do also for a couple of years. It's just you have to find your bow grip and see, why isn't that getting sharp? So where your thumb is. I think the thumb should not be completely pushed through, but something a bit more flexible. The flute, Jason asked, I find the flute elbow movement really hard on the Piatti exercise. Yes, this is super hard. It's also very hard to teach. I tried my best, and it's even in person, grabbing the arm of the poor student and showing it, it's really hard. But it was hard for me to find it as well. It really took a while. But now I believe in it very strongly, as I feel it helps. It's responsible for that I feel so comfortable with my right arm. Okay, what do I do? Oh yeah, that's cool. I can just highlight whatever I... Alfie asks, would you repeat the Feuillard on all strings? No, the A string is enough. I mean, that's the thing. You can do everything 100 times more, but I try to just do the essence of what I believe is necessary, and much more is really not needed. I mean, Alfie's asking if I should do... But, no. Yeah, and you can... But it's more or less the same, and we need this on the A string. On the lower strings, we don't really have to climb that high anyway. Jung-Won is asking, how can you get used to the fear of playing wrong note in your daily routine or musical pieces? Used to the fear of playing wrong note in my daily or musical... Get used to the idea. I try not to get used to it. I try... to get used to the fear. Well, don't have a fear, I guess. Don't be afraid. And don't be hard on yourself. I mean, be critical but not hard on yourself. maybe that's a good story, because when I play a wrong note, I don't really get hard on myself most of the times, but I analyze and I then do the next time the right thing. Or I make a note in my brain and then I correct it for the next day or something. But staying quite calm. When I play tennis, it's quite the opposite. When I make a mistake, I get furious and I yell and I scream and I don't really get better. Except once, I played with this lady I used to play with in Berlin, and my son was quite little and he was sleeping. So I couldn't scream and yell. So I didn't. And suddenly I played much better. Because I wasn't so hard on myself, I was just trying to focus. When I made a mistake, I didn't scream and yell, but I just analyzed what was wrong, and then next time I did it right. So this whole expressing anger doesn't do it. I mean, I've done it, I still do it sometimes, but I don't think it's helpful. So don't be afraid, don't be upset when you make a mistake. Rather analyze it and then next time do it better. So there's no reason to get used to the fear, but just try to not fear anymore. So when I practice, I try to play as perfect as possible. But when I go out and play, at the end of the day, it's about human emotions and the beauty of music. It's not about playing every single note in tune or not having any little scratches. So the absolute perfection we try to strive for in practice, but in concert, this should be secondary. And if that is our main focus in concert, then often the music suffers a little. Okay, now Ismail asked if I strictly play the F E major. Well, since 40 years I do the E flat major, because my teacher said that's the most difficult key, and I believed him, so I play that. And actually, well, I can do the other keys as well. I mean, another keys would be F sharp major. Sorry. So I've never played F sharp major in my life, but it's more or less the same thing. So maybe I should start practicing F sharp major. Okay, I switch from now on from E flat major to F sharp major, just for the next 40 years. I hope I can remember that until tomorrow. Feel the fear and do it anyway, says Caroline. Yes, very good point. Feel it and overcome it, and ridicule it maybe even, because there are so many things to be afraid of. To play a wrong note is not one of them. I mean, climate change, COVID, you lose your child, your loved one, all those things, death, love, everything, so many things to be afraid of. Wrong notes, nah. Maria is asking, how did you used to prepare yourself for orchestra auditions? Is there any book you'd recommend for mental preparation? I like the mental preparation as well. Well, I did only one orchestra audition in my life. It was for the European ECYO, the European Youth Orchestra, whatever it's called now. EYU, the European Youth Orchestra, EYU. Oh, EYO. Sorry, the European Youth thing. And I don't remember how I prepared for that. I mean, there's no book I could recommend. Aren't those auditions always different orchestra excerpts? But as I try to nail down my very admired colleague Jean-Guyen Keras to what he says, how he teaches Haydn for somebody who prepares for an audition, and he didn't really answer to me, except that he can only teach music and not unmusical things. But I really wanted to know if he lets his students play like... this kind of with going forward and rushing, going quite much faster than what usually is being played, and he didn't answer to me. So my take now, after having done some reflection of that subject, if one should play as informed as one can and as free or rather strict, I think it's important to know that in those auditions, very good players listen for 1 or 2 or 3 days to always the same pieces. You know, in American auditions, sometimes 200-300 cellists come and play Haydn D major. So if they have to listen to 200 Haydn D majors and one plays it a bit different and with a bit more musicality and a bit more drive and yes, a bit more informed maybe. So maybe that stands out. I think most of them will play it quite perfect, so the perfection, obviously, for orchestra auditions, that's a must. So you have to focus on that, but try to also give it some individuality. I mean, that's what obviously every orchestra is different. Some might like to see the individuality, and some rather might want good soldiers who play everything, just nail it. So I would go for just trying to think of the players in front of you as your audience, and they are longing for some music after having to listen to too many people just being good soldiers. So be an artist. That sounds stupid, but be expressive. For the orchestra excerpts, I mean, they're sending you the material they want to hear. I would recommend memorizing them. Don't just play your Haydn and Dvorak by heart and then sit there and play like a rabbit reading the music. I would try to be as correct with the music as you can, and definitely listen to recordings. Play along a recording, for example, for the orchestra excerpt, so you know what actually is going on in these pieces. If orchestra musicians in an audition, they like to see that you know what the music is about. And if you're lucky or unlucky, or whatever it is, they might ask you to play it in a group and then ask you to play it a bit differently. Or maybe not play it in the group, but just say, okay, could you now do that a little bit more fluent or a little bit less fluent or louder or softer, just to see how you can deal with these kind of challenges, which I think is a good idea because they need to see how flexible a musician you are. But otherwise, there's not really a good book I could recommend for orchestra auditions. If you are, I wouldn't know. If anybody knows, please tell me and I tell Maria. Are there any more questions? If not, I go and have a glass of water because I'm so thirsty. I think I didn't drink since lunch, and there I had 2 very small glasses of delicious Rioja. I forgot which one. I wanted to take a photo, but the guy who gave me the little wine, I said, no, I still have to drive the curvy roads over the Sierra, whatever the Sierra is. And he said, oh no, but it's just a chato. No, I don't know how it's like. If somebody has a very small nose, they call it, is it chato? Maria, you know better what it is. Anyway, so I had this and no water, so I'm drying out. You're very welcome, Patricia, and thanks all of you for participating and asking questions. I think that was the most communication I had in any of those live streams. Maybe it has to do that this machine is actually better, although I have no idea why it suddenly broke down. Sorry for that. So, yeah, no more questions? Wonderful. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you. Well, I'm doing a concert in London on June 3rd with the Quatuor pour la fin du temps, and we're rehearsing on June 2nd at my friend's place, where I'm in quarantine for 5 days. So maybe I can convince my partners to tape the entire, or live stream the entire rehearsal. Maybe that's interesting, I don't know. I mean, it will be me and Stephen Osborne, who played the piece already together, and Alina Ibrahimova, we played the piece, the three of us, 15 years ago, but the clarinetist we never worked with. So maybe that's interesting to see how we come together, and we have like 3-4 hours to do that. If they were in Queen's Hall on June 3rd at 8:30, I think. Any tips on how to improve expression in your bowing? This one for the future. Well, it's also in the bow video. I mean, try to avoid the automatic pilot going fast and various bow speeds. You can work that on open strings, and just be aware of that. This is not really expressive. This is nice. This is nice sounding notes, but this is not really expression. That's me who says that. I don't like these fluffy things. But I think I talk about that in the bow video as well. So different bow speeds, different contacts, and sometimes play the musical line you want to play without the left hand, just on the open strings. Well, that's another subject. I go have a drink. Thanks for watching. Good night. All best.